Welcome, faithful listeners, to another Brew Ink Podcast. This is episode 9. I'm glad to have you guys all come back, and there's been a lot more of you since episode 8.
What was the final total?
We got a little over 500 on the last.
Yeah, a little over 500 people listened.
So cool.
And a little less than 20 voted. So we're gonna keep that,
So
going.
please vote. If you're listening to this, go to our Facebook page, Brew Ink on Facebook. Look us up and vote after you listen to the story.
And if you don't have Facebook, there will also be a polling link that you can go to that's off-site of Facebook. And both of those sites get counted.
Yeah, and actually, it's even better just to go to brewandink.com.
Yep.
Brewandink.com. So go ahead and vote.
Yeah, but it was awesome to have so much engagement and involvement, and we're excited to be bringing the next portion of the story to you guys. It's a really exciting part. I liked it. I think this is probably the easiest part of the story that we all jumped in on and said, "Hey, this is awesome."
I was a little worried. This one was really difficult for me to write.
Yeah.
Like, I really felt, not to put Evie down, but I really felt written into a corner. 'Cause I was like, it's not your fault necessarily. I was just like, I want to do this and this and this, and I've got 1,500 words. Like,
I was amazed.
I read your thing, and it was so easy to like it, and then at the last minute, I was like, oh, God, I should have complained about something.
I gotta write
Exactly
something.
what
Yeah.
So thank you. I appreciate that encouragement, because when I wrote it, it felt good, but really that's why it took me a couple of days to write it, because I was marinating, like, how do I do this, this, and this, and get us here, and do it in under 1,500
You know
words?
what? I'm not going to give away anything saying this. I really liked it because it left so much for the next writer to do.
Right.
And
because
so
I wanted to do
much
that
latitude.
too.
I really like that. I thought that was fantastic.
But it got to the next major point.
major point and left something for us to do.
And it gave plenty of options of where to go, which I really liked. But
so we're going to see about that tonight.
Yeah. All right, so let's get some updates.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you guys that are out there liking our Instagram posts right now as we are recording. So, Spa Burst liked our post, so thank you guys.
Nice, thank you.
And, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. If you want to listen to our podcast there, we're on Facebook. And that's all those places are where you can find our updates. We always do a Facebook Live every other Monday where you can update for what we're doing at our writers group. As an update for me, this week I've been focusing on a writers conference that Britt and I are going to in July called Realm Makers. So Realm Makers is going to be a really cool writers conference. It's focused on fantasy and sci-fi writers, but it's it's kind of for Christian authors that want to write for secular media. So it's got kind of a niche to it, but it's a really good conference. A lot of opportunities there. We've already signed up for all of our
classes and stuff.
Yeah, classes and stuff.
If anybody lives in St. Louis, we'd love to kind of hang out.
Yes,
and
we will come to your house and record a podcast there.
Yes.
And so I've been talking with a few of the publishers that we're already signing up to schedule meetings, and I've been working on synopsis to send to them. Got a couple pages that I need to send out to them as well. So that's what I've been focusing on.
What, you've been listening, watching, reading anything?
I've been listening to podcasts. I found a new one that I like that is called Startup Dad Headquarters. It's basically about entrepreneurial dads. Mm-hmm. So fathers that have young kids, newborns, but are also have this desire to be an entrepreneur, that want to start their own business, and he just interviews all these successful entrepreneurs that are dads, and they talk about how they went about their journey. And I was like, this is an awesome resource just to listen to and encourage, and it's been really good. And then I finished watching Jessica Jones, and it was really good. I enjoyed the overall storyline that they had. The character of the mother really developed tension. It worked really well. So that's me. Oh, Netflix. One of my favorite composers is Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And on Netflix, there is like a 2-hour special
Nuh-uh.
of Hans Zimmer live with an
Really?
orchestra going through all of his like different music. I listened to it
holy
twice
crap.
today. I listened to it
I gotta
twice.
check that
Yeah.
out.
If you hear scratching, that's us writing.
Writing
That's us
down.
writing it down.
Yeah. So Hans Zimmer on Netflix. Check that out. Just play it in the background all day
I'm
long.
gonna have
Isn't
to
he
play
like
that while I...
the most amazing composer to listen to
I mean,
while writing?
I didn't realize how many different movies he's done. It starts with like
Yes.
Driving Miss Daisy, and then it's like Interstellar and Spider-Man, Batman. He runs the gamut. I mean, I've always loved Pirates of the Caribbean. I've always loved all the movies that he does.
He's
His
very
music
good.
makes the movie good.
It's so funny because he also wrote a whole bunch of romantic comedies. He's also
yeah.
in those, and I'm like, oh, Holiday, and I'm a girl. Sorry.
So that's me,
Over to who?
Bill Hawkins.
Over to Bill Hawkins. Who's that? Somebody you might hear of is the guy who cut 20,000 Darlings from his last book.
Oh no!
I did it. I got
did it. Very nice.
20,000 words cut in the last 3 weeks.
So proud.
And I don't know if I'm proud of it or not. I killed so many. You know, Hemingway, I know you guys probably heard this. Hemingway said, kill your darlings. Okay, and I'm writing and writing and writing, and I write this big, huge book, and it's too long. And I got to cut, because if and when it gets published, it probably is going to be my first one published. And they ain't going to look for 150,000 words to put into print. They're going to want something a little shorter.
You're gonna have an addendum, a second publishing of all your.
Right.
As somebody said, several people said, "Oh, you can write another book out of that." Yeah, I could probably just add to the stuff I cut and create another book, and it'll be really stupid. But people will buy it because I sold the first one, right? Maybe, if that happens. So the answer is, that's what I've been doing. I've been working
Very cool.
on writing and insane writing, which is cutting, which is the hardest part because
That's so good though.
I love these characters. I love their backstory. And now when I read the story, what I read is the story plus all that backstory that I already know. And you're not getting that. So you guys are going to have to, pay extra for the,
The special features.
the special features.
If you want to
Just
schedule
kidding.
The deleted scenes.
I'll give you guys the special features, but that's because you're listening to our podcast,
There
and
you
that's
go.
the cool thing. You're listening. Just say someday, "Give me the special features," and I'll give you the stuff I cut out. And,
There you go.
If you don't like it, well don't get
you
nasty
asked
with me.
for it.
I'm the reader though, and as the reader, like I'm one of Bill's readers. I get to see all the edits, and the story keeps getting better and better.
She's
gonna get
reading.
better.
She's reading my book,
That's
and
the
that's
beauty
really
of
cool.
editing.
Having another writer read my book because its family is great. I love that, and the readers that I find they're great. Hey, man, it's really good. My wife is complaining because I'm cutting some of her favorite parts, and I'm like, oh, come on. But on the other hand, we have. I think we're leaving the important stuff in the story, and that is the story, the meat, the hard meat of the story, the hard meat of the individual characters. And there's a couple of times when I go a little wide. And I do that on purpose, and I do that with intent because I look at it and go, this is entertainment. And that's what writing is. That's what we're doing. We're entertaining you. We're not making a movie where we have 50,000 people that are altering our vision of the story. What we're doing is we're writing a book. And maybe if we're really lucky, we've got one or two editors and an agent or so in between us and the final version.
Yeah, it's true.
And that means we get to tell the story the way we want to get to tell the story. So every word that I cut is a word that I mean to cut.
Well,
Hey.
are you reading or watching or anything?
Yeah,
like-
I am. I'm still watching Jessica Jones. I think
Okay.
I've pretty much binge watched 2 seasons of that, and I'm almost done with that. It's pretty good stuff. I mean, as storytelling goes, it's gritty, and I like gritty.
Yeah.
I write crime novels. Come on, I like gritty. So
I like the second season personally a lot more than the first. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the first season, and I love.
the whole thing with her mother, I'm not done with it yet, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But hey, we're in the
but
middle of that.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it written more into her character.
I did my
really
best
enjoyed
not
it.
to ruin that for you.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and also I've had to catch up because Infinity Wars is out. I've had to catch up and watch Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther. And okay, I like Black Panther, and I get that everybody's like all excited about Black Panther, but frankly, Thor Ragnarok was hilarious.
It was
man.
great.
Dude.
Yes.
that was funny.
Yes,
It was
right.
And
Wasn't it
it
a
was
good
great.
movie?
It was just really stupid funny. It was almost Monty Python funny to me.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
And to that end, Infinity Wars, I will not give away the whole story of Infinity Wars, but was completely hilarious for the first half of the movie and completely depressing for the second half.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there
Yep.
you go.
All right, Evie.
Hey, I actually have a fairly large update. I've been following this really cool writer. His name is Anthony Eller. And,
I thought you were going to say Bill Hawkins.
I love you, but not that much. No. Anyway, he has like this really cool blog, and it's called writerswrite.com, and it's really fun. Anyway, he has this cool system where you write your novel in a year, and he does it week by week, what you can tackle for that week, and I've been doing it one a day, because I'm a cheater. But he had you write out your, like a working synopsis, and it was really cool. And in the middle of doing the exercise, after I've done like 7 of them, I realized that I've been writing my second book this entire time. Like, this is so much bigger, and I'm skipping over an amazing story that needs to be told first. So I have stopped production.
On what you've been writing. Oh, okay.
And I've just flat out gone, whoa. I have all the information for the second book. I've saved it. It's there. Which is good because I've kind of been falling out of love anyway. So I'm allowed to go back and take this really awesome, crazy character and turn her into her very own book.
There you go.
And it's the setup for the second. And
Nice.
I've been having a blast.
Good.
And I have to say, this particular blogger, he's so real and so like, here's how I did it. And it's somehow, his method is really clicking with me. And so I've been having an absolute blast working on finding ways to mix characters. And I don't know, I always wanted it to be a series. I never saw it until I got to write a working synopsis. And I was like, oh my goodness.
You're like, I missed the whole first part of this.
Exactly. In fact, I have about 3 books on my hand, which is what I wanted. I wanted 3 books, and now I've got my 3 books, and I'm having a blast.
I've got some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
Those 3 books are going to quickly become 5.
Yeah.
I actually thought the other day, I was like, this might be 4.
That's where I'm at right now. I was like, I thought it was going to be 3, 4, maybe 5. I don't know.
So I'm really hoping that...
Robert Jordan syndrome.
Oh, no.
RJS.
Well, George R. Martin was the same way. He originally planned a trilogy, and now it's whatever. And I think he's trying to finish that last book.
So HBO's in your future.
HBO's. Well, we can hope.
I really hope. Well, it's funny because the way that I write, I see it like a TV show in my head.
Yeah.
So it's hysterical the way I write. Sometimes I have to back up and go, this is a book. And then on a note of kind of, what I've been watching, I actually don't know what I watched. My husband was watching it.
It was Justice League.
Justice League. And I still enjoyed it somewhat. And it's funny because as a writer, everything is changing. I was like, that is a horrible plot line. Like, of course he's going to hit the whatever that block is in time before it hits the water. And of course he does that. And of course, and I was ruining the movie for Lee. And he's like, would you shut up?
Yeah.
That's why I don't go to movies.
I had to stop doing
Now
that.
you understand the difference between the DC movie writing and the Marvel movie writing.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay, no, not yet.
If it's predictable and not good, it's DC.
It's DC.
So true, because
Yeah.
Marvel is so intense. Because
I don't know, guys. Wonder Woman was good.
Now, Wonder Woman was good.
was awesome.
In my opinion, she and Ben Affleck in Justice League were probably the redeeming part of that movie. Their relationship and their acting in that.
Yeah.
Like, even in Justice League, she was, and just like Batman versus Superman, she was the shining light.
Right.
So, all right.
Sorry.
Are you?
So, for me, as far as what I've been working on, I've still been working on Kill a God. I wrote a couple of really good scenes this week. Just trying to get back into the swing of things. I would really like to finish Kill a God by the end of June. And I really could. If I could get down to like 1,000 or 2,000 words a day, like get down to that groove again, it would be done. I'm really probably halfway through it. It's really going to be short. But anyway, I've been writing on that. I'm going to be on, who was it that came to visit?
Raphael.
Raphael,
Yeah.
who came to visit a few episodes ago. I'm going to be on his podcast. We're recording this Wednesday night, sorry. And so I'll be on there. So check out Stories for Nerds, right?
Yep.
Stories for Nerds podcast. Check that out as well. We'll tag that in the Facebook.
For sure.
In the Facebook as we share it. So that's been so I'll be doing that. As far as what I've been kind of involved in or inspired me maybe this week, because on Facebook I talked about the Rocky movies. But this week I had some time to listen to a podcast, and I don't get as much time as I want to listen to podcasts, but I will listen to this one. I like Malcolm Gladwell, who did Outliers. If you've never read much of Malcolm Gladwell, he's great at research. I don't like all of his conclusions personally, but he wrote Outliers, which is a great book. One on David and Goliath, which is a great book. But anyway, Malcolm Gladwell has one called Revisionist History, and so basically he goes back on historical events. He goes on different events and kind of gives like a little other side of the story thing, and it's really interesting. And
That's always good to see. Like
it's
going back to
really
history.
amazing.
that whole the victor writes the history
Exactly.
books thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice to see it from the other side, even though is it right? Is it
No,
accurate?
he was the few that I've listened to were amazing. And again, I'm not always on board with all of his conclusions, political policy kind of conclusions, but not that I'm against him necessarily. It's just, but the research that he does and the things that he brings out are very good. But the one that I wanted to talk about for our writing podcast was he did one on country music, and he did one on why country music makes you cry.
Oh.
And basically he's Canadian.
So
They
he
have
likes
country
Shania
music
Twain.
up there too.
And
Shania
so
Twain.
Shania Twin, if you
Yeah.
ask Art.
So he was talking about how he never understood this Southern fascination with country music and people dying and divorces and getting
and trains
drunk
and mama
and just
getting
all this
drunk
stuff,
and
right?
getting out of prison. Yeah.
And
Got it.
and so he did what Malcolm Gladwell does. He does research, and he went down and interviewed one of like the most, basically the guy who wrote He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So he interviewed the guy who wrote that song. He wrote all these other really sad songs. And basically, it was a great episode for this reason. For us as writers, it was really good because he talked about the difference in country music, country hit songs, and pop rock hit songs. So he went into Rolling Stones top 500 songs or something, and they were all really generic, and they were all really like surface level kind of stuff. And he said even the sad songs. Like the Rolling Stones, Wild Horses Couldn't Drive Me Away. And he said...
Pretty light compared to the country stuff.
Right. Yeah. And his point was is that in country music, they give really specific details.
Right.
That connect. And so basically, what he was saying that he didn't say for writers is show... Don't tell. That's and that's what country music does. Is country music says, they put a wreath. He stopped loving her today. He put a wreath upon her door.
Wild horses keep dragging me away.
Well, but that
was the response to that song.
But Rolling Stones, it's telling me how you feel.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is Rolling Stones wrote one thing, and then a country guy comes out. George Strait comes out and does Wild Horses Keep Dragging Me Away.
Yeah. And so, but the idea is that country music, as over the top as it sometimes seems to be, but just as writers to realize, and that's something that one of our newer members, and she's not here tonight, but something to encourage her with, and you guys can remind me the next time either we see her or hopefully she'll listen to this, is her details in her story were great. The details in her story helped tell the story.
Yeah.
Like helped show me things rather than tell me how the character thought. And I think that that's something that as writers, it really helped to kind of bring to mind, like instead of me telling people how to feel or how my characters feel, if we can give those, and it's hard writing.
Make the readers feel it.
Make the readers feel it. Make the readers see the details that make you connect. And it's a great podcast. It was a great episode for anyone, just because, a part of it was shared language. So part of his point was in pop music, it's very diverse, racially, maybe not politically, but racially and religiously, it's very diverse. Whereas in country music, they're almost all white. They're all from the South. They're all Protestant.
Hey man,
they're all
don't forget about Charlie Pride.
right. And
But the same thing.
but it's still a similar cultural language, and when you have that similar cultural language, you can give those really specific details. But when you have all this diversity, it's hard to find that common culture.
True.
And although diversity is a great thing, and we want that, but diversity. To give you have to give more explanation for those details, right?
Yeah.
Like and so anyway, it was just but with country music, and he said with rap music, although he didn't go into that, but you have such a shared culture that you can there's a shorthand almost of details that you can give, and I just think it's important for me as a writer and for us as writers to realize that sometimes it's just that one detail that can really that can say so much more than me telling you someone's sad or someone's happy or whatever. So anyway, it was a great episode. I highly recommend it.
What's the name of that podcast again?
I think it's called Revisionist History, but it's Malcolm Gladwell. So if you've ever look up Malcolm Gladwell, and we'll tag it on the Facebook thing as well. So it was good. So as the Brew and Ink,
wait.
Steven truly loves me because he got me this beer I like called Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale, and I don't know who makes it or where it comes from, but every time I have it, I have a moment.
It's really so good. It is so good. And then we've also been drinking tonight Mystique by Left Nut Brewing Company.
And when you say we, you mean Stephen and Bill.
Yes.
We finished that.
We did polish
that
it
was
off
a
together.
pint and a half, and we
say.
finished it off.
Oh, yes.
No problem.
It's not what I've been drinking.
This is a very well-designed bottle and label.
It's definitely a Belgian.
It tells you
Definitely
serve it
Belgian.
at 40 degrees. It tells you, how many ounces are in here. It tells you 9% alcohol by volume.
That explains a lot.
It's a Belgian-style dark flavored ale.
Awesome.
It's very good, yeah. Mystique by Left Nut Brewing Company. Oh, well, I guess at this point, we have nowhere left to go but
The story,
diving
man.
into the story.
Diving into episode 9, all right?
All right, let's do it.
Episode
9.
Boneyard, episode 9. I turned to see how close the army trucks were. My head spun and I stumbled to my knees, hard on the truck bed. Walt said, Deb, they got guns. Of course they do. They're the army. But I was weak suddenly. I couldn't say it. After feeling so strong over the last few hours with those stones, whatever they did to me, now I felt tired, soreness and ache in my muscles. Faint popping sounds. Those are gunshots. Walt ducked down under the side next to an old spare tire. He squinted at me. Doc swerved, kicking up dust on the country road. I grabbed the side of the truck, and Troy's body rolled onto my leg. Crying out, Walt fell over, the spare tire and other random parts clanking around. I set my other hand on Troy's body bag, and I could feel the stone he carried. I needed it. I needed that strength again. 2 gunshots pinged off the back of the truck. I zipped Troy's bag open. Where is it? In his pocket. I stuck my hand in there and grabbed the stone. I cradled the stone in my chest. Kneeling, I closed my eyes. My skin tingled. The ache in my muscles melted away. For a few moments, I enjoyed the strength, the healing. My mind cleared. A bullet smashed into the glass of the cab, shattering it. Doc screamed. My eyes snapped open, and turning, Doc looked over his shoulder at me. He was fine. You kids okay? He yelled. I scowled at him. We're black kids being chased by the army in the middle of nowhere with a weird doc we don't know. We are not okay. But I spoke through clenched teeth. Fine. 3 more shots. I whirled to face the 3 army trucks following us. One soldier hung out of the passenger side of the front vehicle with some sort of rifle. I don't know what's going on, but these army cats are pissing me off. Need to get rid of them first. No way we could get away in this slow old truck. With the stone in my left hand, I looked down at the bed. A hammer rattled at my knees. I grabbed the hammer with my right hand, straightened, and threw it at the soldier. The hammer somersaulted toward his face, and his eyes bulged before he ducked back in the truck. The hammer barely missed him, by an inch or 2 probably. The truck rocked back and forth, but I got to my feet in a crouch, like those surfers in Beach Blanket Bingo, that goofy movie with Frankie and Annette, which is all about seeing her boobs in a swimsuit, apparently. I shuffled forward, reaching down, and scooped up a tire iron. With pure focus, I waited until the road straightened enough, and I sidearmed the tire iron at the grill of the front Army vehicle with everything I had. The tire iron ripped through the grill, the radiator, and into the engine. Smoke and steam erupted from the hood and blinded the driver. The truck lurched back and forth, then flipped over on its side in a tumble into the woods off the side of the road. Doc yelled from behind me, What are you? The next truck took its place, and a soldier leaned out the passenger side with a .45 pistol in his hand. He took aim and fired. I dove, and the bullet whizzed by the top of my head. This guy is a better shot. Which really pissed me off even more. I crawled forward under 3 more slugs, one into the back of the truck, and I grabbed Walt. Deb, what the? I tossed him to the other side of the truck, ignoring his yelp. I gripped the old spare tire in one hand, stood into the same surfer crouch, lifted, and I hurled it at the windshield of the truck. Spinning, the tire connected with an explosion of glass and shouts. The truck continued forward but veered to the left and slammed into a ravine. 2 down, 1 to go. I looked down into the truck for another tool or something to throw, but there was nothing. The other truck roared forward, and another soldier peeked out, frowning, ready with another rifle, a machine gun. Well, that's gonna suck. The soldier took aim and I ducked, making sure I held onto the stone. I wasn't gonna let it go now. The chainsaw sound met my ears, and Walt put his hands over his. Bullets pounded into the road next to us as Doc continued to swerve back and forth. Hey, I said to Doc, I ain't got anything more to throw. Don't worry, he replied. They're gaining on us with a machine gun and we're stuck in this truck, I said. I could ride a freaking bike faster than this. Don't worry? Why, yes, we're just waiting on the cavalry. Then I heard a third engine. A deep purring and spitting, faint at first, but when I focused, it came from behind the army truck. I risked a peek over the side of the truck. I had to squint through the dust on the dirt road, but there it was, a motorcycle. Holy crap, I whispered. That's a Triumph. 1960 Triumph Bonneville, a dream, silver blue. It gleamed in the sunlight. A man rode the Triumph, decked out in leather pants and jacket, with army boots on his feet and shades over his eyes. A black man. Rifle butts extended from some sort of holster on either side of the Triumph. He gunned the Triumph. He waited until a turn in the road. The Triumph growled and shot forward. Since we drew the soldiers' attention, the motorcycle took them by surprise, and he passed the truck on the passenger side. The man on the motorcycle pulled a shotgun with his right hand from the holster on the bike, and with a one-handed pump, fired into the front tire. The tire blew, and the truck swerved and slowed. The Triumph pulled ahead of the army truck, and in a move from out of a movie or something, the man in shades pumped it one-handed again while he swung the Triumph in a spin with the other hand, leaning at a sharp angle, and at the perfect moment, he fired into the windshield of the truck. Then he whirled back forward and followed us. The army truck wheeled away and crashed rapidly. The Triumph sped past us. The man didn't even look my way. My eyes were glued to him, and I didn't realize my mouth was open until a bug flew into it. Choking, I spit out the back of the truck. The wind blew my hair, whipping it onto my face, and I leaned into the cab again. Okay, pull this thing over now. Doc shook his head. We have to get to Mama Bear. I reached in and grabbed his throat and squeezed. Pull over now. Doc gurgled and his eyes went wide. He pulled over. The truck came to a heaving stop and I jumped out of the back. Landing on the ground next to the driver's side, I swung the door open, grabbed Doc, and yanked him out of the truck. He squealed. I lifted and pressed him against the warm hood of the truck with my right hand. My left still held the stone, freezing cold in my palm. Walt tumbled out of the truck. His eyes narrowed and blinked. Deb, what you doing? I ignored him and said to the doc, tell us what the hell is going on right now or I snap your neck. A voice from my left. I wouldn't if I were you. My eyes flashed to the man in shades who stood on the road a couple yards away with the shotgun pointed at my head. We need to go, Doc said. They'll send more soldiers. Not until I get some answers, I said. Come with us. Mama Bear will explain everything, Doc said. I promise. I'll count to 5, the man in shade said, and let him go. I sneered at him, my mind reeling, and then I heard another gun cock. And Troy emerged from behind the man in shades, the other shotgun from the Triumph in his hand. Troy had a nasty knot on his forehead, his right eye swollen and almost closed. Staggering, he pointed the shotgun at the back of the motorcycle dude's head. Put the gun down. Doc forced a smile at me. There's no need for this. We're here to help you. Come with us, please. Troy scoffed. I don't trust him, Deb. Let's get out of here while we can. The man in shades lowered his shotgun. Whatever you do, do it fast. More soldiers are on the way.
All right, good job, Britt. That was chapter 9.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice. What are our options?
All right, so the 2 options I came up with are option 1, Deb and the others get away from Doc and the motorcycle dude.
Because they're creepy.
So they're creepy.
Freaking
So
them out.
again, like they've been kidnapped, they've been drugged at this point. Like, why would they go with these people, right?
They just want to race cars.
They just want to race cars, right? Option 2, they do want answers. They want answers about the stones. They want answers, and so they decide, you know what? Deb and the others go with Doc to see Mama Bear and get some answers, get some explanation.
And when you say Mama Bear, I'm thinking like the Matrix, when they go to see the lady that bakes them the cookies.
Yeah.
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
Oh.
Very
Yeah,
good.
Mama Bear. I'm thinking the Oracle.
I think if you guys choose that option, then option 2 will be up to the writer to make that a very creative
Mama
thing,
Bear.
right?
Yeah.
So those are my 2 options.
So what's option 3?
Yeah, we need to come up with option 3. So what could be something else that happens?
That's different than what these 2 options.
Yeah.
Which is really hard to do.
It-
Set up some
I
great
agree.
options.
Like I was thinking maybe a third option could be like helicopters show up. I'm just trying to think of like some things that could happen.
Right. So
The cavalry got rid of the
no
third
one's
truck.
coming from behind.
No one, yeah.
Yet. He even
Yet.
says that they could.
Yeah. They've got
So
a
what's
short amount of time to get away.
The situation is that Man in Shades has a shotgun pointed at Deb, and Troy
Deb's
has
got the Doc
Who is this guy?
in a chokehold.
Well, but he lowered it. He did lower it.
he did
after Troy.
Yeah.
But that
pointed at
doesn't.
him.
I mean, this dude is obviously like he's a real bad mama.
I
Watch
just
your
feel
mouth.
like-
Yeah, man.
He's such a good character. We've got to use him. in
Yeah,
the
we got to
third
use
option.
it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what's going on here? That's the question.
Maybe he tries to take control over the situation.
Okay.
Well, he did try to take control,
he
but
told
what
them-
And
happened?
then it failed.
He told him he's going to count down to 5.
Yeah, that's true. And he never started counting, so that's
Yeah.
my fault. He should have started.
Right?
This kind of dude should have just
You
started
forgot.
counting. I forgot.
How far does Troy get before he points the shotgun at this dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Not very far.
Troy's already pointing it at him.
Well, Troy's a little, staggering. I try to
Yeah,
make
but
him
Troy's
a little
got a
iffy.
gun. Come on, man. No matter how
Yeah,
staggering
Troy
he is, he's
was
got a
wounded.
shotgun. He's got his finger on the trigger. So what's going on here?
So Troy does something, or do we
Boys.
want to say it's the Shades guy?
I like the idea of the Shades guy because he's such
Okay.
an interesting character.
Yeah, I like
Well,
him.
he's
When you
new,
introduced
that's for
him,
sure.
I immediately
Well, obviously,
Shotgun.
Mama Bear has sent him, right? Like to save them. He's the cavalry. Here comes the help and the rescue.
I'm gonna
right.
hear that for
But
the
we
rest
don't
of my
know.
life.
I mean, he could be a bad guy. It doesn't mean he's obviously working for someone else. So he could.
He's a loose cannon.
He's a loose
or he
cannon.
could just be a guy that has the wrong ideas.
Yeah. Okay. So what could
With a
he do?
gun.
What could he do?
I mean, it sounds like he's hot-headed enough to shoot somebody.
Right. Well, if he shot someone, he probably might get shot.
So the man in shades tries to take control of the situation somehow.
Yeah.
What does he do? He shoots somebody.
He shoots somebody.
Yeah. I
He's
think
already threatened to shoot
he's-
somebody.
Yeah. He's not dealing with these punk kids.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, look, he's got his mission. He's got a job. He's gonna take control.
Mama
of the
Bear
situation.
gave him a job.
Mama Bear gave him a job. But whoever Mama Bear is,
This isn't his first rodeo.
this
He's
is
been
not
here. He's
obviously,
Done that. Yeah.
obviously,
Obviously.
not his first
I'm too old for this.
rodeo. All right. So what's our third option?
Third
the man
option
in
is-
shades shoots somebody.
Okay.
Anybody.
Like our audience could literally help kill somebody off.
Yeah.
Which would be so much fun.
Well, we never know, man.
He could shoot Doc. Maybe Doc has some unforeseen power we don't know. Like
Brothers and Mrs.
Men in Black. Remember when they go to interrogate that guy in the pawn shop,
and he
blows off his
shoots
head.
the guy. like in all those movies when the guy is like captured somebody and they shoot the victim or whatever. They shoot the captive person in the leg.
Right.
So they drop and then he can shoot the dude.
There you go.
I don't know. That's up to the next writer.
He shoots someone.
He shoots
Anybody.
someone. Okay, so that's our 3 options. Number 1, Deb and the others get away. Or option 2, they decide, you know what? There's something so freaky going on here, and we don't know what's happening to us. We need to understand, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of Deb's personality a little bit, right? Yeah. She does want to understand.
More rational.
She's, or option 3, it all goes to crap. The crap hits the fan. The man in shades starts shooting. He's just like, look, I got to take control of the situation. He shoots somebody.
We promise we'll have the voting link up at the same time.
Yes, thank you.
As the listening. So we apologize for last week. Pushing it back to the evening to vote. Go vote.
Share, like
share.
on Facebook. It really engage. And if you pick, here's the thing. How about this? If you pick option 3, message us on Facebook who you want him to shoot.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I would love to see some input.
Yeah.
As I picked option 3 and I want him to shoot Walt.
Yeah. And
I want to get this fat Albert goofy dude out of the way. I want to get him out of the way.
Yeah. If that is the option that wins, and whoever gives the most votes towards a person, we will write that in.
I think that would be awesome. All right, so vote, please. We love you guys, and God bless, and raise a glass to inspiration.
Raise a glass to inspiration.
All right, and that's it for us on this episode. Thank you so much. You slammed him in the head with the bedpan.
Dang. That was you.
Troy's got a bedpan oriented attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got a really crappy attitude at this point.
Bedpan.
We didn't go there, did we?
He's really pissy at this point.
You can tell I am the only girl in this group.
Right.
Surrounded by boys.
No.
Peace.
Peace out.
What did you guys do when I was
We need to ration. We need to ration Bill next time. We need to